Hi guys, this time I would like to show you or teach you on how to do web application hacking. Very basic web application hacking by utilizing free open source tools or tools. So let's look at the lab scenario here. So the tutorial will be about web application hacking basic. So we'll be discussing or we'll be talking about OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. And the main objective of the lab is to manually do the web application hacking and or penetration testing based on OWASP top 10, right? So for the tools, we'll be utilizing OWASP WebGoat and OWASP ZAP, or also known as the Z-Attack proxy. This Z-Attack proxy is just a web proxy server, web proxy tool that will allow you to intercept and change the requests, and of course modify the requests before we can actually push back the input to the server. So for the setup, I'll be using virtual machine running Windows operating system. Currently I'm actually running Windows 7. For your setup, you can use any of this. You can use Windows 7, 8, or even 10, and then you need to run or install OWASP WebGoat and OWASP ZAP. Yeah, and then for the target URL, we'll be using localhost 8080 port 8080 WebGoat, and the steps will be: one, we'll be configuring internet web browser, which could be Firefox, Chrome, or Edge, or Internet Explorer. And then second, we'll be configuring OWASP ZAP web proxy. And then after that, we'll be exploring OWASP WebGoat challenges. For more information, you could actually refer to this OWASP top 10. Yeah, let me just copy this one and then open my Chrome so that you can see. Okay, so just paste this one. And then this is all about OWASP top 10 project, which was designed to teach us or the application developers to understand the web application security concepts. Yeah, so the OWASP top 10, the latest one is actually version 2017 or 2017 version. And for more information about the WebGoat, which will be the main tool to be utilized today. Yeah, so this is the the OWASP Z-Attack proxy. Yeah, the ZAP. Okay, so we'll be mainly use these two tools. The first one is the reference, the top 10, the OWASP top 10. And the OWASP attack proxy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about the WebGoat. Yeah, WebGoat, if you use the Google to search, you can use or you can search for WebGoat. Yeah, project. So WebGoat is actually an insecure web application maintained by OWASP, primarily used to teach developers and ethical hackers and penetration testers to actually test the application for some vulnerabilities. Let me add this one for the references. So we got the OWASP top 10, ZAP attack proxy, and WebGoat. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we have for the lab. Yeah, so please do more reading on the WebGoat Z-Attack proxy as well as the OWASP top 10. Okay, so I'll be using this. This is my pre-configured Windows 7. Yeah, and then let me navigate to my WebGoat. So I have installed or copied the WebGoat to this directory. Okay, C WebGoat, and I have also created the script, simple script that would actually start WebGoat. The script is something like this. So let me show you the content of the script. You can maximize or set the size bigger for the fonts so that you can actually see. Let me check the configurator, enable global font, enable font size. It's something like this. It's just like Java -jar and the name of the WebGoat container. I'm actually running or using WebGoat 7.1 jar. Yeah. And then to start WebGoat, you can just double click the file. Of course, you can just type the command on the command line or prompt. So double click the file, yeah, or just type Java -jar and the name of the container. Wait for a while until it fully runs correctly. You can close this window, and in my case I'll be opening my apps which has been set up. So I'll be running the OWASP Zap, which has been previously installed. The current version is version 2.7.0. Here I'll just select no, I do not want to persist this session at this moment in time. Just click start, and then once you have started this Zap, I'll be starting my Google Chrome. In this case, I'll be using Google Chrome. Now, the first thing you need to do for the Google Chrome, the Zap is, let's go back to Zap. You go to select Tools in the menu, and then select Options, and then select the local proxies. Notice that I have set the address to localhost, and then set the port. This port can be anything. Could be like 1234 or 4444 or 5555. Yeah, based on your preference port. Okay, so in this example, I'll be setting up the port to, let's say, 5555. Click OK. And then next, on the browser, you also need to set up something. You'll need to go to the let me see, settings, and then you can search the setting, let's say search for proxy, and then select this open proxy settings. You'll be brought to this internet proxy, and now you'll need to select LAN settings, and notice that the address is 127.0.0.1. You can of course change this to localhost, and of course you need to make sure that the port that will be used to or for the proxy on your LAN has the same port number based on what you have set up previously on your Zap. Yeah, so in this case 5555. Okay, and click OK. And now next is we need to browse to the OWASP WebGoat. So it's supposed to be localhost. Yeah, it's already there. Port 8080/WebGoat. Yeah, so 8080 is actually the default port for this WebGoat. Of course, you can change it if you have a preferred port so that it won't be conflict with your proxy. So by default, we have two user accounts here. The user guest, the password guest, and the WebGoat admin. WebGoat admin has the user called WebGoat and a password. So let's just log on to this one using guest and put a password guest. This will bring you to the next screen. Yeah, so this is the front or the dashboard of your WebGoat. And let's go back to this OWASP ZAP. Notice that you have this, let me see, localhost 8080 running WebGoat. You should actually see this in your OWASP Z attack proxy or ZAP. Yeah. And basically this interface which shows which will I would say will show you the process, or I would say the transaction created by your application. Yeah. Okay, so let's try a very simple example on some challenges here. On the left side, on the left pane, here you can see several challenges. You can start by selecting the introduction, how to work with WebGoat, and you can click on general to understand more about HTTP basic. And the options here on the left pane here actually represents I would say most of the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities that we can actually exploit. And then remember that the main purpose of having this WebGoat is to teach the ethical hackers, penetration testers, as well as the web application developers about OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities, right? So you can see a lot of challenges here, yeah, from the AJAX security, access control flows, AJAX security authentication flows, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and then denial service, and so on and so forth, including web services, okay? And you can go to the challenge to see the last challenge here. But let's try a simple challenge related to the authentication flow here, or perhaps, let me see, I remember that the improper error handling is the easiest challenge I had. Just click this one. You can just repeat, although I have already got this congratulation. Yeah, let's just repeat this challenge. So that I can show you how to actually complete the challenge. Okay, so just start, click restart lesson. Okay, let me restart the lesson. Okay, so carefully read this instruction or information. Okay, due to an error handling problem, blah blah blah, you'll need to, it is possible to authenticate as the WebGoat user without entering a password. So how can it be possible to log on without a password? Okay, so let me show you the secret here. Okay, so let's try WebGoat. Of course, you could try to leave the password blank and then click login. And definitely you will get the error, like invalid username and password entered, right? So having it says that the user, WebGoat user, could actually enter, I would say, bypass the authentication, or it is possible to authenticate without entering password. So to do this, you will need to configure your WebGoat. And for this one, you will need to enable or set the break on all requests and response, so that you could actually intercept the request as well as the response, so that you could actually modify the response and push back to the web server. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So enter the webgoat as the username, and just put like 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, for the password, right? So before we click login, make sure that you select the option on your OWASP ZAP to set the break on all requests and response. Okay, just click it on. Yeah, it's on already. Go back to your browser and click login. Okay, and in OWASP we got this message. By default, ZAP will remain on top of other windows. Press cancel to disable option. Okay, just click OK. And notice that in this OWASP window, we got this break, right? So we got the user name as the first variable, and the second variable is actually password. And then the next one is the action, which is submit login. Now, what if we actually change this according to the OWASP instruction, the challenge? It says that it is possible to actually log on as webgoat without entering any password. Let's just remove this one. Okay, so the password now is blank, or you can even try to delete the entire password variable. Okay, so let me copy this to I'll create a notes here on my desktop. So this is actually this modified one. Let's see, the original one supposed to be password equals to 1 2 3 4 5, right? Ampersand submit, and let's just copy this and remove the entire password variable. Okay, so this is what we have now. Let's go back to our OWASP and notice that we have the same one. So we have removed the pass variable. So now we only have username equals to webgoat, ampersand submit equals to login. Now, if you want to continue, you'll need to make sure that you stop, or I would say click on the break on, yeah, or I would say unset break on all requests and responses, so that you could actually proceed with the next screen or next task. So unset this and you'll see what happened. Oops, I'll need to select submit and continue. I forgot to do this, and bingo, congratulations, you have successfully completed this lesson. So as you can see that we have successfully bypassed the login by removing the variable. And the main problem with this particular challenge is that the server in this case did not actually check the existence of two variables in this case. So the server will just accept even a single variable. Yeah, so you'll need to inform the developer about this kind of problem when you have successfully tested this. Yeah. Okay, next we'll go to, this is just for samples, so I will select one of the easiest challenges, or let's see, injection flow, and let's see, perhaps string injection. Yeah, and let me restart the lesson. Okay, in this case, or in this lab, SQL injection, you can use the string SQL injection to bypass authentication. String SQL injection. And you'll need to log on as Neville, which is the boss. And by doing something with the SQL injection technique, you could actually inject something so that you could log on using Neville, even though you do not know the password of this user. So first thing you need to do is to select it's supposed to be Neville, because we don't know the password. You just leave it just put any sample password 1 2 3 4 5, and again we need to go back to our OWASP. You need to select the break, set break on all requests, so that you can capture the request and response. Now select login, and notice it will actually show you this parameters. Okay, so I'll copy this one and put it here. So this is the original parameters to be passed to the server, or to be provided to the server. And let's see what we can do here. What if I change the because we don't know the password, right? So let's change this to SQL injection, like for example, very simple, like single quote or 1 equals to 1 dash dash. Okay, of course you could actually find this if you want to find out about SQL injection, you could check the SQL injection cheat sheet. For example, SQL injection cheat sheet. Just Google it, and you can see the SQL injection cheat sheet by NetSparker, and there's another one by Pentas Monkey. Okay, so let's see. Single quote or 1 equals to 1. Oh, not here. How about on this one? That's Parker. Oh, we got one. Okay, so this is the one I'm using. So let's get back to our Windows, the Zap. Okay, so I have successfully changed this to single quote, password equal to single quote space or space 1 equals to 1 space dash dash. So I'll copy this one and put it on my notes. Okay, and let's see what happened. Cool. So I'll need to remove the break or unset the break, and then select submit and continue to the next breakpoint, and see what happened. Wow, again you have completed stage 1 string SQL injection. Welcome to stage 2. Okay, so that's just an example of one SQL injection. Let me see what, here, another example would be string SQL injection. Let's restart the lesson. So let's refresh. So another string SQL injection challenge. In this example, you'll need to put your name. In this case, you could put, based on the instruction, you'll need to write down the name Smith. So if you type Smith, the credit card numbers that will be appeared are all credit cards belongs to Smith. Click go. You'll see that we got 2 credit cards by the name of Smith. And to do this SQL injection, you could also try something like, okay, Smith, but if I put Smith single quote or 1 equals to 1 dash dash, and click go. See what happened? now we have successfully performed SQL injection by typing this kind of you know um, input. All right, so yeah, here. So this is actually on the login form or username, sorry. Okay. If you want to know more about SQL injection, you could actually check the OWASP top 10 that will explain you on SQL injection. Like for example, although the latest one is already 2017 version, you could also refer back to the OWASP 2013. Yeah, so it will actually give you more information about why SQL injection can be done on the site earlier. Yeah, just select on Y key. Yep, and you could select the top 10 list. Yeah, here, SQL injection. Yeah, so more information about the SQL injection. Okay. Of course, you could actually explore more information. You can see the examples of attack scenarios and the insecure codes being involved in our OWASP webhook. Okay, so basically you have successfully completed some challenges. Of course, if you have more time, you could go through or explore all of the challenges given by webhook. And if you're if you haven't, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that if you have any problem in solving the challenges, you could of course use, like for example, show solution, or even just show hints that will give you some clues on how to actually perform the command. The complete solution would be or could be found in the show plan. Oh, sorry, supposed to be show solution. Yeah, it will show you the examples of on how to actually complete the challenge. Okay, so very simple, but very I would say easy to understand. Yeah, also allows beginners to actually start learning web application hacking and or penetration testing. All right, so we just need to have the browser, the web goat, of course. Yeah, this one. You can just select go back. I mean web goat to go back. And also we need to run OWASP ZAP as our web proxy. Remember that the main purpose of this OWASP ZAP is to intercept the request and response so that we can change or modify any requests from the client side. Of course, we are the client because we run the browser and we run the web application on our own browser, so that you could actually modify. This could be, just an example of a case where you could actually learn the SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and other type of vulnerabilities and attacks. Yeah. Yeah. Beside this, you could also check the reference websites such as webappsec.org. Yeah. Here. And you can go to this web AppSec threat classification version 2, which will actually show you about the threat classification. So you can see the SQL injection, cross-site scripting as well. Okay, so I think that's all for now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have any feedback. Yeah, I personally appreciate if you could actually give me some comments, feedbacks and advices. Yeah, see you next time.